Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some mixed league mania out of the map Metalopolis. Over here in the left-hand position, we have Dwarfspider spawning in as the yellow Zerg, and down here in the south, we have his opponent Zodiark spawning in as the pink Protoss. As this game warms up, we have both of our players calling out their mana, and also Bacon, because this was taken from a tournament that happened, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. I want to say it was the Bacon Cup. So if you see some nice banter, it was just a tournament game. And Zodiark commenting on the amount of randoms that are in the tournament. And yeah, randoms can be really annoying to play against because you have no idea what to prepare for. I mean, you're sitting there, getting ready for your next match, and it's a random, and you're like, what do I prepare for Zerg, Terran? Should I go and try to, try to get some new PvP strategies or anything like that? I don't know. And Dwarfspider having some nice banter about Bacon, which this game is from, again, the Bacon tournament. And anyway, as this game warms up and we see very standard plays coming out from both players, I'm actually surprised that Dwarfspider didn't go for the fast expand on this map. I guess it might be because he scouted and he saw that it was close air positions, because if you see like cross map positions on Metalopolis, as Zerg, it's basically just the fast expand. Just right there, you're like, oh, it's cross spawn. Fast expand time. Let's go, baby. Because you just get the fast expands, you put like spine crawler, and I don't like fast expanding against Terran on this map, but against Protoss, perfectly acceptable. There's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, guys, a real fast announcement about my channel. All of my games are now set up onto playlists, so if you guys want to watch some Platinum League Pandemonium or Team League Tenacity, or just chill out and watch Bronze League Badassery, you can head on over there and just click on the playlist button at the top of my channel, and it should be up there, and that's going to be a much easier way for people to watch the level of game that they want, and I think it'll just be enjoyable all around. Anyway, we have Zodiark going for the average cybernetics core. I'm surprised he hasn't dropped down a second gateway yet. This is usually when you see the second gateway at least start. But we do have the reasonably fast expand coming out from Dwarfspider. It's really just a speedless lane expand, so not quite the fastest build possible. So he's going to be able to defend this hatchery quite easily. We do have the probe heading out for some map control, but I think the Overlord just saw that, and they're the Zerglings. And are the Zerglings going to go clean that up? They are indeed. So we do have the Zerglings cleaning that up in the midfield, and a spine crawler going down actually really, really early. I'm not sure quite why he's throwing that out. And we actually have a Twilight Council, so this is a 1-gate Twilight Council. That's a really fast Twilight Council, I would say. And I don't think it's gonna be for I think this is gonna be a mainly cheese Twilight Council. I guess he could transition into a really fast Charge Lot Archon, but if you're gonna go Charge Lot Archon, typically you won't get your Twilight Council before you put down a second gateway. And it looks like he's saving up a lot of gas, so I could definitely see him going DT with this. I guess it could be a High Templar Rush, but those are very not popular against Zerg. And there's the Shrine. Alright, so we do have the Dark Shrine coming out. And yeah, just really kind of just a nasty build out of this Protoss. Extremely cheese heavy. I'm not quite sure why he's going for this crazy cheese play. Because if he dropped like 3 gateways and just went for a standard pressure attack, he could do a whole lot of damage to the Zerg economy, especially if he could manage to block this Overlord. And, this Overlord, all it needs to do is aim up. I don't think this Stalker will be able to kill it fast enough if it actually starts heading towards that Dark Shrine. But the Overlord is scouting in the wrong direction. He might end up seeing the Twilight Council. Let's see, does he see it? He sees the Twilight Council. He knows that there is a really fast Twilight Council out for Zodiark, and that is, just a, his third gateway, or, this gateway wasn't even done, and he has a Twilight Council up? What does that, so I'm guessing that Dwarfspider is going to start, he already has Spore Crawlers. That's impressive. I think I'm guessing that this was a really cheesy tournament up to this point, because this is really fast for 2 spore crawlers. Really, really fast, in fact. And we do have 2 DTs warping in. And this is an amazingly small attack force, and the DTs are not going to be all that effective because of the fact that these spore crawlers are already up along with these spine crawlers. And I think those will absolutely tear the DTs apart. I think he needs to like put a queen, or put a couple queens on the ramp, and then just move this spine crawler down, because this spine crawler is going to do absolutely nothing just sitting up here. He really needs it down on the bottom level to help him defend. And that queen, oh, that queen. The queen. Wow, is this queen really gonna live? Oh, so many drones dying though. That was kind of just nasty, to be honest. 5 workers were killed by those DTs, as the DTs were getting surrounded, but DTs just one-shot everything in the Zerg early game arsenal. So they got so the Zerg forces got absolutely destroyed by that attack. It looks like the Archon is coming out now, and this is the danger when you're facing off against the Dark Templar player, is this Archon play. I think that as soon as he saw these DTs, he should start attacking to some sort of other unit that he can get out fast and deal damage with. I think he really needs some sort of roach, maybe even infestors. Really, at this point, he does have his layer up, so I think he really needs to try to transition into some sort of like roach infestor play, because the Protoss is really locked into his play right now. He's not going to have a whole lot of money left over to go tech to Colossus, and roach infestor is just so good against the gateway ball, because it can prevent those zealots from charging, it can prevent those stalkers from blinking, and it can just in general prevent any sort of running away. And as I was just absentmindedly staring at the gateways, I'm pretty sure an attack happened and a couple Archons died. So there's a huge advantage going towards Zerg player as far as actual killing units goes. It's 1287 resources lost for Zerg and 1850 resources lost for Zodiark, and he's lost just a lot of very expensive units. But oh no, the Zerg is not engaging where he wants to be. He does not want to be fighting these zealots out here, especially with the amount of Zerglings he has, which is not that many. And I think that these DTs are going to be able to clean up these. Actually, he gets one of the DTs, but the other one is going to manage to stay alive. He's still ahead on the amount of units killed, but the issue is that if he keeps losing these Zerglings, he's not going to have enough to go for any more economy. I think he really just should have gone for a run by and tried to snipe off as many probes as possible, because really those Zerglings are just going to be so much faster than these Zealots and these Dark Templar that he probably could have just come in here, gotten like 6 probes, and then dashed right out and done significant economic damage really right there. We do have a lot of Zerglings coming up, but again, I think he needs more beefiness to this army. He has a Spire coming up, but Archons and Stalkers, which are 2 units that are amazingly easy for the Protoss player to get right now, will just absolutely tear through those Mutalisks, and those Mutalisks can't really engage this army head on. And the issue is that the Zerg is going to need to at some point engage this army head on. He can't just sit back in his base and continue macroing, because he doesn't have that much of an economy lead. If you're going to go for this sort of like throw away all your units kind of build, which is really what Zergling Utalisk is, you need that 3rd base. You need to be getting those upgrades. We do have the Baneling Nest coming down, but even if these Zerglings are Banelings, the Archons and the Zealots are just gonna soak the damage really. And as long as a couple units survive from the Protoss player, it's going to be plenty for him. And it looks like actually a lot of probes are getting sniped off. Ooh, 17 workers killed. Ooh, that is a lot of workers killed. And actually, he could be going for a lot of Zealots right now, really, because these Archons are they're a bit too fat to fit in through this hole at the top of the ramp. So I think he should have just gone for sniping some Zealots there. And it looks like the Robobit is coming up. That Stalker is going to live just barely, and actually he didn't lose any Mutalisks, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he made 7 and he's leaving with 7. So that was a really nice amount to survive that. And we do have 2 macro hatches going down, which I would have liked to see one macro hatch earlier instead of 2 macro hatches later, just because at this point he lost all of his Zerglings, which is bad. The fact that his enemy is using Archons and Zealots is really bad for him, because Archons and Zealots will kind of just soak damage from Mutalisks and Banelings until there's nothing left. And after all that soaking is done, you might have killed off all the Zealots, but that doesn't matter if you don't get the Archons, because the Archons are the things that will actually just go in and face roll through your Mutalisks. And the Mutalisks are going to get annihilated right here. So much damage going out on these Mutas, and he's not... Actually... Alright, so he just lost like 4 Mutas for 2 Archons. Which isn't an awful trade, except for the fact that he is in this situation right now, where he has just all these Zealots just pouring in through his front door. And really, I think that attack with all of his Zerglings was very, very ill-fated. I don't think that was the greatest choice he could have made, and these Banelings are going to come out and try to do as much damage to these Stalkers, but Stalkers are just a bit too beefy for those Banelings. And these Mutalisks are going to be no issue for the Stalkers that are on the ground. These Stalkers are going to clean them up pretty easy. And yeah, this is pretty bad for the Zerg player, as this army does break in through his front door, and there's the GG out of Dwarfspider. Really, the only thing I can say about that game is that he shouldn't have sent in his Zerglings. He should have just been content with harassing with those Mutalisks, because he lost, 30-ish Zerglings trying to run them around through this little area right here. And they did get spotted by the group of Zealots and Archons that were right here. And then the Zealots and Archons just started to swing around, and they came down. And the Zerglings really didn't do anything to this mineral line. They didn't do a whole ton of damage, and they just all lost their lives to charge that Archon. And if he had those Zerglings at the end of the game to morph into Banelings, and if he had 30 to 40 Banelings instead of 6, I think he would have survived through that attack. Not without any damage happening to him, because he would have taken a lot of damage. He probably would have lost this hatchery, but he would have lived. And that's really the best you can hope for. You just live, and then you try to double expand. You go for something really risky and just try to win the game. Anyway, guys, you can check out any other games that I've commentated over at youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. And if you guys want your games commentated, send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. Yeah, this is Boisterous, signing out.